Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Simply Savory. Today I'm going to show you how to make my delicious and sinful chocolate dipped strawberry cheesecake. We're going to run down a list of ingredients you're going to need right quick. You're going to need some butter, salt, vanilla extract, sugar, 5 bars of baking chocolate, 3 packages of Philadelphia cream cheese. Do not skimp on the cream cheese. Cocoa powder. You're gonna need some sour cream. Now I accidentally grabbed light, so we're just gonna go with it. You're also going to need 4 eggs at room temperature and some kind of chocolate graham cracker or chocolate cookie. Now they didn't have chocolate graham crackers, so I had to go with the Teddy Grahams. Hey, we just gotta roll with it today. The measurements will be down in the description below, and also you're going to need some frozen strawberries, more sugar, some cornstarch, and half of a lemon to make the strawberry sauce. I'm going to put that in a separate video and have the link in the description as well. The first thing we're going to do is start on the crust for the cheesecake. You want to put the chocolate graham crackers or chocolate cookies or whatever you're using into a food processor and blend it to a fine crumb. And also you want to make sure that you preheated your oven to 325 and you've melted 7 tablespoons of butter to moisten the crumbs with. And you're just going to pour that butter in, process it a little more to moisten everything up. You want it to be like almost like a wet sand kind of consistency. And next thing we're gonna do, we're just gonna pour it all into the springform pan. Now you can do just the bottom or you can do the bottom and the sides. You just wanna make sure that you press it into the bottom and, you know, slowly work your way up the sides to get it nice and as even as possible. And if you haven't done so, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that bell so you can be notified of all my delicious recipes. Once you're done with this step, you're just going to put it in the oven for 10 minutes and take it out and let it cool. But meanwhile, we're going to get started on our filling. For the filling, you're going to need to chop up 3 bars of the chocolate. Now you can take off the 2 squares to make it more exact, or you can leave them in. It's up to you. I decided to take mine off and eat those because they were delicious. So you're just going to place that in a heat resistant bowl or in the top of a double boiler. And you're going to get some water simmering, but make sure that the water does not touch the bottom of the bowl or the bottom of the top of the double boiler for the next part of this process where we're going to melt this chocolate. Now for this step, it is important that the bowl that you use, if you're not using a double boiler, is heat resistant. You're just going to put that over some simmering water and you're going to stir and continue stirring until the chocolate is smooth and completely melted. Once the chocolate is completely melted and smooth, you're just going to remove it from the heat and set it aside to let it cool while you work on the rest of the filling. For the rest of the filling, you're going to add your softened cream cheese, 1 1/4 cups of sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract to a mixing bowl, and you're gonna Beat all of that until it is smooth. And please make sure that the cream cheese is softened. I left mine out for about 2.5 hours before I even got started. And scrape down the sides of your bowl if you need to. And then you're gonna add in 1 cup of sour cream. And you're gonna beat that until smooth. Scrape the sides of your bowl. Next, we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder and beat again until smooth. And be sure to scrape down the edges of your bowl if you need to. We want to get everything well incorporated into this cheesecake. Nothing goes to waste. Next, you want to beat in your eggs 1 at a time. Make sure they are at room temperature, and you're going to beat after each egg until it is incorporated before adding the next egg. When you're done adding your eggs, scrape down the sides of the bowl if you need to, and then add in the melted chocolate. And try not to make a mess like I did. Scrape down the sides of your bowl if you need to. Now, before pouring the filling into the springform pan, just wrap the bottom of the springform pan. Make sure you completely cover the bottom in foil because we're going to be putting this in a water bath. Now you're going to pour that delicious filling right on in there. Be sure to give it a couple shakes and a tap or 2 just to release those air bubbles. Next thing you'll want to do is place it in a roasting pan, and you're going to put it in the oven. And then you're going to pour boiling water into the roasting pan so that it covers halfway up the sides of the springform pan. And make sure that your oven is already preheated to 350 degrees, and you're going to bake that for 55 to 60 minutes, maybe more. Please keep in mind that the cheesecake will be a little jiggly when it's done, but it's completely cooked. Okay, the cheesecake is done. You just want to pop the oven open so that it's ajar. Make sure the oven is off and let it cool for 1 hour before transferring to the refrigerator to cool off the rest of the way. And we're going to get started on our ganache, starting off by chopping up the remaining 2 chocolate bars and putting it in a large bowl. Over on the stove, you're going to add 2/3 cups of heavy cream, which I forgot to put in my ingredients section. And you're going to add 1 tablespoon of butter and bring that to a simmer. Once the heavy cream is simmering good, we're going to take that over to the chopped chocolate. You're just going to pour that over the chocolate, let it sit for 1 to 2 minutes so that it starts to melt, and then you're going to stir it up until it is smooth and creamy and well incorporated. That's all a ganache is, guys. It's just really simple, just heavy cream, butter, and chocolate melted and stirred up together. And once it cools down, it's gonna give my cheesecake a nice chocolate dipped appearance, which is what I'm going for, without being too hard to cut. For this next step, you're gonna wanna have some sort of baking sheet and wire rack just to make everything a little bit neater. You're gonna run a warm knife around the edges of the springform pan before you release the sides. Then we're gonna top that with our strawberry sauce. Now remember, the strawberry sauce is in a separate video and I'll have the link in the description. You could also swirl the strawberry sauce into the cheesecake filling before baking. Now next we're just gonna pour that ganache over, gonna even it out, let it run down the sides and everything, and we're gonna let that cool overnight, and that's gonna give it that shell that I'm looking for and make it look like it was dipped in chocolate, just like a chocolate dipped strawberry would be. You're just gonna let that set for a little while, and you could transfer it over to the refrigerator to let it cool the rest of the way. And if you haven't already, smash that like button. Okay, we are all done here. Everything looks perfect. And we're just gonna take a slice and see how it came out. Now doesn't that look amazing? And I promise you it tastes even better than it looks. Now I can't wait to dig into this one, so you all enjoy. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and please come back and see me.